Hello everyone. Welcome to another GSWPA virtual patch program. I see people are just hopping on now. We're gonna give a couple minutes for everybody to get on, get settled. Today's virtual patch program is honoring our veterans. So I'd love to know while we're waiting in the comments, who is a veteran in your life? Or maybe somebody who's active in the military. Maybe your mom or dad, aunt, uncle, cousin, grandparents. Let me know in the comments who in your life is a veteran or maybe is still active duty. Welcome everyone. If you're just joining us, we are doing another virtual patch program. And today's program is honoring our veterans. I am Samantha McGuigan. I am a Girl Program Specialist with Girl Scouts Western PA. We're so excited to have you guys here today. If you're just hopping on, I was just asking everyone to share in the comments who in your life is a veteran or is still active duty military, whether that's mom, dad, grandparents, aunt, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, my stepdad, my grandfather. Yet my grandfather is also a veteran. Awesome. We have some people we're honoring today, which is great. If you're just hopping on, my name is Samantha. I am a Girl Program Specialist with Girl Scouts Western PA. And today for our virtual patch program, we are honoring our veterans. So we will get started in just a couple minutes, but while we're waiting, I'd love to know in the comments who in your life is a veteran or is still currently in the military. Grandfather, her brother's godfather, several great uncles and cousins. Wow, lots of people in that family. Awesome. Lots of people to honor today. My dad. Thank you all so much for sharing. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. I'm going to give some people some time if they're still hopping on. Your uncle, awesome. Both of your great-grandfathers, great-grandpas. Yes, both of my grandfathers are veterans. And I'm pretty sure my great-grandfathers were also veterans. Awesome. Thank you all for sharing. So we're going to get started. Hello, my name is Samantha. I am a Girl Program Specialist with Girl Scouts Western PA. And today for our virtual patch program, we are honoring our veterans. So thank you so much for joining me today. As always, for our virtual patch programs, we'll do three things. We'll discover, we'll connect, and we will take action. For our discover, we are going to learn some facts about Veterans Day. Let me know in the comments if you know when Veterans Day is. And we're also going to come up with some questions that we could use to interview a veteran, learn a little bit more about their experience. Someone says their uncle and grandpa are both veterans or still in the military. Awesome. For our Connect, we are going to do a couple of Veterans Day crafts that we can also gift to a veteran or active duty military. And then we'll take action by sharing those crafts we made to honor our veterans. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we make those crafts. I already see some answers coming in about when Veterans Day is. Yes, it is tomorrow. It is November 11th. And we're going to talk a little bit about why it happens to fall on that day. Okay, so without further ado, let's learn a little bit about Veterans Day. So this comes from history.com. Veterans Day actually originated as Armistice Day. let me try that again. Armistice Day. I think I'm pronouncing that right. On November 11th, 1919, the first anniversary of the end of World War I, Congress passed a resolution in 1926 for an annual observance, and November 11th became a national holiday beginning in 1938. Unlike Memorial Day, Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, living or dead, but especially gives thanks to living veterans who served their country honorably during war or peacetime. So when is Veterans Day? And some of you have already answered that in the comments. It is tomorrow, Wednesday, November 11th. So Veterans Day occurs on November 11th every year in the United States in honor of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918 that signaled the end of World War I, also known as Armistice Day, which is why it used to be called that. However, in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower officially changed the name of the holiday from Armistice Day to Veterans Day. And Veterans Day commemorates veterans of all wars. And it also commemorates veterans who served in peacetime, so even when there wasn't a war going on. As it so happens, Great Britain, France, Australia, and Canada also commemorate the veterans of World War I and World War II on or near November 11th. Canada has Remembrance Day, while Britain has Remembrance Sunday, which is the second Sunday of November. Very interesting. Never knew that. In Europe, Great Britain and the Commonwealth countries, it is common to observe 2 minutes of silence at 11 a.m. every November 11th. Very cool. So every Veterans Day and Memorial Day, Arlington National Cemetery holds an annual memorial service. The cemetery is home to the graves of 400,000 people, most of whom served in the military. Let me know if you have ever been to the Arlington National Memorial. I'd love to know in the comments if you've ever been or if you'd be interested in going. I think it would be pretty cool to see. So Veterans Day today. The military men and women who serve and protect the U.S. come from all walks of life. They are parents, children, grandparents, friends, neighbors, co-workers, and are all an important part of their communities. And here are some facts about the current veteran population of the United States. This one is as of 2018, so just 2 years ago. I have some people saying, I've been to DC, but not the cemetery yet. Some people would like to go, and that would be really cool. Something to see. As of 2018, 18.2 million living veterans served during at least one war. So there's still 18.2 million living veterans in the United States. 9% of veterans are women. 7 million veterans served during the Vietnam War. 3 million veterans have served in support of the war on terrorism. Of the 60 million Americans who served during World War II, about 325,000 were still alive as of 2020. So of 16 million who served in World War II, only 325,000 are left. So if you ever meet a veteran who has served in World War II, if they're willing to talk to you about their experience, I would definitely encourage that. Not everyone who's a veteran wants to talk about their experience, and that's okay. We definitely respect that. But if you do have a chance and they're willing to talk to you, it would be really cool to talk to a World War II veteran. There's only 325,000 left, which is not too many considering 16 million served. Alrighty, 2 million veterans served during the Korean War. As of 2019, the top 3 states with the highest percentage of veterans were, maybe I'll give you guys a chance to guess. 3 states with the highest percentage of veterans. Any ideas? Oh, someone says our junior troop laid a wreath at the unknown soldier's tomb. That is very cool. I would love to see pictures if you're willing to share pictures in the comments. You don't have to run and do it right now. but at a later date. I would love to see pictures of those if you're willing to share. Someone says my great uncles were in World War II. That is so cool. I would love to be able to talk to them. So while you're guessing which states have the most veterans, I'd also love to know in the comments if you had the chance to talk to a veteran, whether that's World War II or any veteran, or even someone serving active duty. What questions would you be interested in asking them? I have some people guessing Florida, Pennsylvania. Not quite. Not quite. I thought, for some reason I thought it would be Pennsylvania, but it's not. At least as of 2019. Virginia, yeah, that's one of them. Virginia is one. There's two more. Not New York. Also, let me know in the comments what you would like to ask a veteran. What do you think are some good questions to ask? If they're willing to talk to you. Remember, if they don't want to talk about it, that's perfectly fine. We definitely want to respect that. My papa was in World War II. Very cool. Very rare that someone you know was in World War II. It was a long time ago. Georgia, nope. The remaining two, one's right at the beginning of the alphabet and one's right at the end. I'll give you that hint. What questions would we like to ask a veteran? What do we think? Oklahoma, not quite. Maybe this is a little too hard. There's 50 states and there's only 3. They come at the beginning and the end of the alphabet. Ooh, great question. Do they feel respected by kids these days? Very interesting. My grandfather was in between war. He served 4 years without seeing war. We talked about food, clothing, what he did for fun. Yeah, super cool. I would love to know all that kind of stuff. And it's probably different for each of the different times that people have served. What kind of food they ate, what kind of clothing they wore. I always ask, my grandfather was in the Navy, and I think it's really cool to talk about where he slept. Nope, not Arizona or Alabama. Getting close. Alaska, yeah. One is, which also surprised me, Alaska is one of the top 3 states with the highest percentage of veterans. Alaska, Virginia, there's one more. A good question we could ask is, where did you serve? Absolutely. What places did you see? A lot of veterans travel all over the world and get to see a lot of different places. I know my grandfather traveled to Japan, and it was really cool to hear from him what that looked like, because I've never been to Japan. I would love to go. Advice on teaching kids patriotism. That's a great one. How can we show patriotism in our country? Someone says he traveled and loved it. Yeah, I would love to know what they saw. Not West Virginia, not North Carolina. The last one is at the end of the alphabet. Oh, I think somebody got it. Wyoming. Is it Wyoming? Let me double check. It is Wyoming. Yes, that is the last one. Great guesses. So the top 3 states as of 2019 with the highest percentage of veterans are Virginia, Wyoming, and Alaska. And Alaska definitely surprised me. I didn't think there were that many people that lived in Alaska. Maybe I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Awesome job, girls. And great questions so far. My stepdad was on a Navy ship. What was the name of the ship? That's a great question for those who served in the Navy. All ships had different names. Lots of great questions. So if you would like to interview a veteran as part of, so there's also a patch program we have online that you can print out that has a little bit of some different stuff you can do on it as well. One of the things to do is to interview a veteran about their experience. Again, make sure they're willing to talk to you about it. You don't want to ask them questions they don't feel comfortable answering. But if you want to take down some of these questions and interview them about their time, I think that would be really cool and a great way to honor them on Veterans Day. My grandpa was a lieutenant commander in the Navy. Were you scared? That's also a good question. How did you feel? I would love to know that too. Julia would ask, how old were you when you enlisted? Or were drafted, because a lot of people were drafted into the military. Very great questions. Why you decided to enlist? Awesome. So feel free to take down some of those questions, and the next time you are with a veteran in your life, I'm sure most of you probably know one. If not, talk to a trusted adult who might know one. It would be really cool to interview them and see what their experience is like. Okay, so I also wanted to mention one thing while we're talking about veterans, and it's called Operation Sweet Appreciation, which you as Girl Scouts might be familiar with, but you might not. So for many years, Girl Scouts has used Girl Scout cookies in the magazine, the nuts and candy part of the Magnet program, as a way to show appreciation for our military men and women through something called Operation Sweet Appreciation, and to send sweet treats to local food pantries, shelters, hospitals, and other organizations through gift of caring programs. But we're focused today on Operation Sweet Appreciation, which sends cookies and nuts and candies to, I think, veterans and active duty military, which is really, really cool. So my wonderful friend Kim, Miss Kim in the comments, has put a link to our website where you can learn a little bit more about Operation Sweet Appreciation. And if you're so inclined to donate the gift of, right now it is for our fall sale, so our fall product sale, to show appreciation for military men and women, and send treats. I think right now they're saying, okay, you can send honey roasted peanuts to our military at home and overseas. In 2019, Western PA Girl Scouts sent more than 4,500 cans of peanuts to military men and women. Super cool. Let's see if we can beat that record this year. So if you're interested, we've put, you're not required by any means. I just wanted to mention it. We have a link in the comments where you can go and you can donate honey roasted peanuts to military men and women. Someone, I'm guessing you're from a different council than Western PA, says their program is called Care to Share for Veterans. Very cool. So yeah, if you're interested, if you'd like to donate some delicious nuts, that link is in the comments. Okay, so now that we've learned a little bit about Veterans Day and brainstormed some questions that we could ask a veteran, which I encourage you to go and do and learn a little bit more about veterans, we are going to do some Veterans Day crafts. So if you have any other facts about veterans or Veterans Day that you'd like to share, feel free to put those in the comments, and I'll try to keep up and read what you guys know. But our first project I want to do is painting rocks. So you might have seen this project done before in different ways, but all you'll need is a rock, some paint. I have red, white, and blue. I actually just have white out for my white paint because I think that works just as well. If you don't have paint, markers work too, especially on a lighter colored rock. So I've already done one where I've just used a marker to color my little rock red and just write thank you on it. So we're going to do something similar to that. It is up to you what you want to put on it. Maybe we honor you, happy Veterans Day, just thank you works too. Red, white, and blue helps show your patriotism. So I'm going to take some red paint. I'm going to take my rock and make sure you have permission. I grabbed this rock from our front yard. So if you're grabbing it from somewhere, just make sure you have permission to use it. And I'm going to take some red paint. I'm just going to go ahead and start painting my rock. So I think marker or paint works. I think paint might work a little bit better. Can you see? There we go. I'm going to put a piece of paper on it because I'm known for being a little bit messy. Let me know in the comments too what you're deciding to put on your rock. And then my suggestion for these, once they're dried and painted, if you know someone who is a veteran who has passed, you can go to their gravesite tomorrow on Veterans Day and lay your rock that thanks them for their service. Or if you have a local cemetery, a lot of the times veterans' tombstones say that they're a veteran and sometimes which war that they served in. So you can lay rocks there too. Make sure you have permission from, I'm pretty sure you could do that anywhere, but just in case, make sure you go with an adult, a trusted adult, and have permission to lay the stones. Or if you have a veterans memorial somewhere near you, just make sure you have permission of whoever is in charge that it's okay to lay stones. But definitely if you know somebody who has passed, or even someone you know who's still alive, that you could even give them their decorative stone to put in their garden, somewhere outside. I think that would be a great way to honor them on Veterans Day and just let them know that you're thinking about them and you care about them. I'm sure there's lots of assisted living homes that have veterans that would love to receive a little decorative rock that says thank you for your service. And I'm sure if you call, they could point you in the right direction as to who you can hand those over to. Well, someone says they're putting God Bless the USA on the rock. Stars in white, red, and blue. I love those ideas. So be creative, whatever you want to put on your rock. I think mine's drying pretty fast. You want to make sure your first layer is dry before you do your second layer. And you could paint the whole rock. Just for time's sake, I'm just going to paint the one side. I think it would be cool if I painted the whole rock red. Say that 3 times fast, all the way around. I think that would look really pretty. But for now, I'm just going to do the top of my rock. So far, it just looks like this. And I might give it, well, I think it should be okay. But I also have these paint pens. I have a little bluish teal one that I'm going to use to write thank you. I also have some blue paint, but I think I like the dark blue better, so I'm going to go with that one. It's still a little wet. Well, in that case, I'm going to actually set this aside and let it dry a little bit so I don't mess up the paint. And then we'll come back to it after our next craft and finish that off. But you're welcome to finish yours now if it's drying quickly for you. So let me put that to the side. And don't let me forget about it, because I will. Julia's painting the American flag. Awesome. I'm giving my pap my rock. He'll put it near his pond. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing. So our next craft, while we're waiting for that one to dry, we'll come back to it, I promise. We are going to do a little collage of an American flag. So I have like a cardstock, like a thicker piece of paper, but a regular piece of paper will work just fine. And I also have a note card sized I think I'm going to do the note card size right now just for time's sake. Well, maybe I'll do the big one. But whatever size you want to do, I'm going to show you how to do a collage of an American flag. And you can do it on a big one or a small one, and then I think on the back we'll write a little thank you message, and you can give that to a veteran as well. If it's note card size, you can slip it in an envelope and mail it. If your veteran isn't nearby. But I'm going to, so I have some magazines as well that we're going to use to cut out our collage. But I want to take, I'm just going to take the edge of my magazine, take a pen or a pencil, and I'm going to make an American flag. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be, so the American flag, let me know in the comments how many stripes it has and how many stars it has and why. But I'm not going to do exactly that on my card. I think it's okay if we just make it look like an American flag. It doesn't have to have the perfect amount of stripes or stars. But I'm just going to draw right here, a straight line. It's a little bit longer. So it's not perfectly to scale of an American flag, but they'll get the idea. There we go. So I've just made a little, there we go, a little square in the corner where my blue will go and my stars. And then I'm going to do stripes. And I think on this I might, maybe I will have enough space for 13. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to make it exactly 13 stripes and 50 stars, that would be awesome. And I'd also love to see pictures in the comments. You don't have to post them today. This video will be recorded and up on our Facebook page for later dates. So you can post them anytime after today. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. I'm probably not going to make it to 13. That's okay. Okay. So I've just done something like this. I've done a couple of stripes and a big square for where my stars go. And I'll just need some glue. Oh yeah, I got the answers in the comments already. 50 stars and 13 stripes. Do we know why? Oh, somebody's already answered it. You guys are so smart. 13 stripes for the 13 original colonies and 50 stars for each of the 50 states. That is correct. Awesome job. Okay. So I'm going to start browsing through my magazine, and anything I come upon that's red or blue, I'm going to snip that out of my magazine and set that to the side, and you'll see why we're doing that in a second. So maybe I'll just flip through real quick, see if I see any red pages. Oh, I see some red colors. So just like here, you see a little red picture, and I'm going to cut that out and use it for my collage. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're kind of mishmashing it together to make a flag. So cut some red out. And make sure you have permission to use your magazine. I've got lots of blue on this page. This is for blueberries. Perfect. You could actually use this whole page. It's got lots of blue. Oh, this one has lots of red. We'll cut that out. And it doesn't really matter what's on the page. We just need that color. So we're going to glue it on to make our flag. We've got some red peppers. That'll look nice. Let me know in the comments how it's coming for you. Maybe what magazine you're using. I think I have Family Circle. And let me know some more questions you might want to ask a veteran. I feel like we only touched the surface there. What other questions might you ask a veteran? Julia says, we did not always have 50 stars on the flag. It changed with the number of states we had. Yes, it did. Does anyone know what year it changed from 48 states to 50? I'm actually not sure myself, so if you know, let me know in the comments. I have an idea of around when it was. Got some more red, some fruits. And let me know too if you know any songs that might be good for Veterans Day. You know the national anthem, I'm sure. There's some blue. And you don't need any white. The white we're going to make out of just regular white paper. Oh, look, a puppy. Got a little bandana on. That works for me. That's definitely blue. Someone says 1959 is when they changed. There became 50 states. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to trust you. That it was. I know it was the 1950s. So I'm going to trust that it is 1959. So thank you for sharing. Some more blue. Ooh, that's a lot of red. That's a Crayola. Oh, it's State Farm and Crayola. Oh no, just State Farm. It doesn't matter. Might need a little bit more blue. This is a purpley blue. And again, it doesn't have to be cut perfectly because we're going to mishmash it all together. And it doesn't have to be perfectly all red or all blue either. Okay. Well, let's start with that, and we'll see if we need any more from my other magazines. But I'm going to take, see if I can push it down a little bit so you can see better. Here we go. I'm going to take my red, and I have a glue stick. I'm going to put glue on my first stripe. And then take my pieces of red magazine and start cutting it up so that it's about the size that goes there. You might have to trim it a little bit so that it fits. So I started it just looks something like that. I'm going to take lots of little pieces of red from different parts of the magazine, cut them up and stick them in there. May need to adjust the size a little bit here and there. Might need to add a little bit more glue. Overlap some pieces. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just mashing a bunch together. Alright, so there's my first stripe. I'm just going to skip the next stripe because that'll stay white. And I'll move on to my next one. Put some glue down. I'm going to cut some pieces of red. And I might actually want to take a pen or pencil so I know about the width I want it. That might make it a little easier. Just put a little dash on there where I want to cut it. But it's a collage, so it can be a little messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. And it might be easier for you just to cut one big strip rather than linking a bunch together. That is up to you, whatever works best. Make sure we got enough time here left to go back to our rocks. Alright, so there's my second stripe. I'm going to skip the next one. Make that a white stripe. Make a little mark where I want to cut it. Try to cut a straight line all the way down. A tiny bit long. How's everyone doing? Some people are giving us more veterans in their life. Great grandpa. Awesome. If you didn't get a chance to let me know the veterans or even active duty military in your life, let me know now in the comments so we can honor them today. Well, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, but we are starting our celebration today. So let me show you what I got so far. Pretty cool. Again, not perfect, but I think that's the imperfect part of it makes it fun. Put some more glue down. There we go. Might have to get some more red. That's why I brought 3 magazines, because I didn't know how much I would need. Get some more glue. I find this very therapeutic. I don't know about you guys. Very calming. All right, looking good. We got 2 more stripes. I think I might need maybe another page or 2. So I'm just kind of measuring up what I got to the lines I drew on my page. Making a little mark. And then cutting a straight line all the way down. For as straight as I can. Putting some glue down on the stripe that I drew. And just gluing it down. I like these fruit ones. I think they're gummies. I think if you wanted to take this to the next level, I think it would be cool if you found red stuff that was also patriotic in your magazines. That might be a little more difficult. Someone says today is the Marine Corps birthday. Oh, that is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. If you know any other dates that go along with Veterans Day, let us know in the comments. That is very cool. All right, after this I have 1 more stripe and then we're going to get back to our rocks. Now we got about 15 minutes left. But if you're not quite finished yet, that's okay too. You can work on it when we're done, or tomorrow on Veterans Day after school. Let me find one more red page. Okay. Oh, that's cool. This would be really cool. It's red and blue books. I'm definitely going to use that page. That's super cool. And if you're having any trouble finding the right color magazine page, you can't find anything red, you could also just use red construction paper. That works too. Alright, I need one more little piece of red. I think this will do. My picture of strawberry something. Might not be quite long enough. Let me know how yours is coming in the comments. If you have any questions, any more fun facts to share about Veterans Day or the military, you and your life as a veteran or is in the military. If you're still working, that's good too. That does fit. Perfect. Alrighty. So, that is my hodgepodge American flag. Now I'm just going to do some blue right here. So I think I'm going to start with those blueberries. That looks cool. And that takes up about half, so that shouldn't take me too long. Oh, that looks great. I just need a little bit more blue on there. And I have lots of blue cut out. That works out. Put some more glue down. I promise, we're almost there. And we'll get back to our rocks that we made. So I got a little bit of space left, so maybe I'll use some of this light blue. And it's okay if it overlaps too. Doesn't have to be perfect. One more little piece of blue, I think. Oh, sticking to me. Actually, I think that'll do. So it looks like this. Pretty cool, right? So, if you want, you could take a piece of white paper, fold it up a couple of times. This is how we're going to make our stars. Fold it up. I'm going to cut a little piece out. Don't make it too thick that you can't cut it. I'm going to draw a little star on there. Or if you have white star stickers, that works too. So I drew just a little 5-point star, and then I kind of cut that shape out. See how well that goes for me? You may need a parent's help with this, or trusted adult's help. I folded up a bunch of times so that I can cut a bunch of stars at once, but you might feel better cutting one star at a time, maybe two at a time. Okay, so they didn't come out perfect, but I think they look pretty good. I can peel them apart. I just made little stars. If you want, you can glue those on, or you could paint stars on. I actually think, well, I'll put a couple stars on. Might have made them a little too tiny. I think I might have a better time taking some white paint or white out, if you have it, and drawing some stars on there. And again, they don't have to be perfect. You can see mine aren't perfect. Do a couple more. If you want, you could do all 50. I think that might take a little bit of time and commitment. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Might need a little bit of time to dry, but that's what I got. I think it looks not too shabby. So then on the back side, I can just take a marker, and I'm running out of time. So I could write a little message to either someone in my life or maybe somebody at a retirement home that doesn't get too many. All right, thank you for your service. And then down here, happy Veterans Day. Lots of exclamation points. So if you want to write a nice personal message, you can. Or if you just want to do what I did, thank you for your service, happy Veterans Day. If it's going to someone you don't know. And I think that would be really fun to give to someone and thank them for their service. So that is our collage. And with our last couple minutes, let's go back to our painted rock. And I'm going to take my blue paint pen and just write thank you. I don't think it wants to work for me, so I'm going to use my blue marker. That worked well on my other rock, which was just red marker and blue marker. I'm just going to write thank you. Just like I did before. I'm going to take my white out, or my white paint, whatever you got on you, and draw a couple of stars. And you can put it on the headstone of a veteran that you know, or a memorial for veterans that you might know about that might be in your community, or even to someone you know who is a veteran or currently serves in the military. Make it your own, be creative. I think that's going to do it for me. What do we think? It says thank you, some blue stripes, some white stars. Might be hard to see in this light. But I think that turned out pretty good. I could put that next to my grandfather's headstone, or I could leave it at a memorial. The cemetery I go to has a memorial for veterans, so I think it could be really cool to set that there on Veterans Day. But with that, we are about out of time. So I want to thank you so much for joining me for today's virtual patch program honoring our veterans. You have discovered by learning more about Veterans Day, coming up with some questions to ask some veterans. You connected by making some crafts and art that have to do with Veterans Day, learning a little bit about Operation Sweet Appreciation, and your final take action will be to share your projects with a veteran or with someone in active duty military to show your appreciation. And I also encourage you to show others what they could do to appreciate our veterans in active duty military. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a great rest of your night. Bye. Bye, guys.